we shall slowly by slowly get people to know about this. Okay, so maybe let us get started by looking at a few things here. As far as our ITAU constitution is concerned.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are looking at the review of the ITAU constitution, and today is day 4. We are looking at elections. Yeah, and one of the challenges, one of the things we have been looking at is during COVID, we have been actually trying to organize an AGM in order to have elections, but we have not been able because of COVID. So this year we're thinking of having online elections. Yeah, so so we're trying to look at online elections to see if they can be able to help us. Yeah, so if we got the constitution, let me first go the constitution briefly. If you got the constitution, you'll see elections is article number 5. Article number 5. Article number 5 is one which talks about elections. Okay, so
yes.
Yeah, Mr. Ogisha is also on. Yeah, so elections. Let me just read quickly. So elections it says here that elections are going to be presided over by let me go at the top. Elections shall be presided over by a returning officer elected by the AGM, and it shall not be among the next members of the organization. And all bona fide members shall be eligible to vote and be voted for. Voting shall be on basis of one person, one vote, and maybe by secret ballot or show of hands as agreed by the AGM. So here the modes are one person, one vote. They talked about secret ballot or show of hands. And whenever there is a tie, counting of votes for any position shall be held. The same post for the best two of the contending candidates. A candidate shall be proposed and seconded by at least one person. So if you look at the mode of elections here, they don't talk about online elections at all. They don't give a provision for online elections. They talk about secret ballot, and so that is, but they're saying that as agreed on by the AGM. Yeah, so there are cases we have not noticed that there are, even in this current executive, we have realized the cases where the physical elections may not be possible. So one of the things that we will look at is the provision for online elections. So that in case we need to come up with some kind of provision for how online elections can be considered, can be used, especially in cases. So we can have online elections, and we have also been having challenges with members failing to turn up. Like we have a workshop in Kampala, people in West Nile, people have been having problems turning up to come for the AGM. Yeah, so that is one thing that we can be able to look at. Okay. So last time when we had elections in the physical elections, we didn't manage to fill the entire executive. Some executive members, we voted them still using online. We installed some voting program on the website, and people could log in and they cast a vote online. That's how many of the other executives were voted to fill up the executive. So we need to come up with guidelines for online elections for that case. That is one. Then they are talking about grounds for disqualification. Candidates shall be disqualified if there is evidence of sponsorship by any other organization who is not a member of ITAU. After nomination, if the candidate incites other members to using violence, threats, or if he breaches any provision of the Constitution. So a candidate to be disqualified from the race. Then there's something about the by-elections. In the event that a position falls vacant for any reason, the vacancy will be announced by the NEC, stating the reason for the candidacy for the vacancy, which is followed by a full NEC meeting. So in case a vacancy is there, then it will be announced by the NEC, and then a by-election will be held. Now, how shall these by-elections be? We can't easily be meeting. Actually, even if it's not COVID, there's no way we can be meeting people coming to have elections, unless if it's just a handful of people. But if you are looking at many ICT teachers, then it requires some online kind of elections. Handover and swearing in ceremony shall be held by outgoing NEC and incoming NEC members for purposes of handing over immediately after announcement of results. So here, by outgoing NEC and the full incoming NEC for purposes of handing over immediately after the announcement and taking oath as indicated. So here, this is what happened in the previous elections at Kololo. Immediately after voting, we have the handover immediately within a short time. So we're not vote of no confidence. In the event of misconduct, a vote of no confidence shall be provided by a bona fide member of ITAU and will be subject to confirmation of 2/3 of the committee. So members can pass a vote of no confidence. Okay, so basically that is all. That is all about the elections in the Constitution. We have things of resignation from office in case someone resigns from the office. In case someone resigns from office, there are some procedures there. If the Secretary General is to resign, where he writes to the chairperson, and if the chairperson to resign, and then the dissolution of the NEC shall be dissolved automatically as soon as the nominations of the next NEC are announced. A new election shall be held as provided in the Constitution. So our Constitution, the election guidelines are not very thorough. They don't look at a number of things, and there is a lot. Now I have some other two constitutions here that I wanted to open just shortly. And we look at maybe as I continue, I'm seeing Mr. Dennis and Mr. Odoli Ayub. Welcome to the session, members. We are looking at elections. Mr. Ayub, how are you? Hello, Mr. Ayub?
Yes, I'm all right, sir.
Hey, thank you for joining. Did you try to join earlier or you have just joined now?
It's all right, delayed. I've just joined now.
Hey, okay. Thank you for joining in. Then also Mr. Dennis Wagisha, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. I know going through this constitution will give us very good insights, especially as we are going to meet on Sunday. Yeah, so every deliberation we make right now, even when we may not come up with conclusive decisions on what statement to put, but going through alone allows us to have enough time to prepare ourselves thoroughly for Sunday. So I hope to interact later on as we still continue discussing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, yeah, members. So members, let me share this constitution. Yesterday, I shared some constitution. So there is a constitution in here for one of the organizations which I was looking at yesterday, and they're looking at elections. I want us to just borrow a few things from here. They're saying, election shall be held during the sitting of the General Assembly There shall be two categories: general elections. These ones are when the new executive committee, at the end of the dissolution of the current committee, then by-elections in case of a vacancy. Then eligibility, before by-elections, executive shall temporarily appoint among themselves the person to take care of the vacant office. Then eligibility, to be vote, only fully paid up members are eligible to vote. Association members are only eligible for the office of the committee member, not the executive. Any person holding office shall not be eligible, non-Ugandans. So there is then procedure. The outgoing executive shall be dissolved. The returning officer shall be then elected among the members to conduct the election. So this is how they did it. An outgoing executive, when it is dissolved, a returning officer is then elected from among the members. That means that returning officer is one of the people who is not going to stand. And actually, this is one of the things we were looking at. We when we were looking at when we were looking at holding elections, actually we thought we had already actually got it. For me, I had offered that I'm not going to stand in the next election executive. So I was offering to be the returning officer. After we tried to I tried to announce and people were not even applying. Yeah, so in this constitution, they get a returning officer from the outgoing executive. Then the nomination forms shall bear the following: name and signature. Names of candidates shall be displayed for members to view and be given 30 minutes to address the assembly. So they do this within the AGM, just a one-day affair. People are given 30 minutes, they address, then these people shall be elected at the general meeting. Then the president shall nominate their deputies. So the president and the general secretary are the ones that nominate their the vice president. These ones are not elected. They just, the chairperson chooses his vice. That is how these people were doing. That's how it was here in this particular constitution. And this is a functioning organization. So they have, then I have another constitution as well here. Let me also try to look at its constitution, and then we are going to, I'm going to ask each of you to give an idea what he thinks we should be able to look at. So National Executive Committee, the meetings of the NEC, the Secretariat. Yesterday I was talking about the Secretariat and its work and its functions. We were looking at that yesterday. Where are the elections? Okay, this is a constitution for Uganda Climate Change Champions Network. So I don't know whether, so members, let us try to do election. Election of the members shall be guided by formal election procedure developed by the NEC no less than 2 months prior to the election day. An independent presiding officer shall be proposed by the NEC and approved by the AGM. And a member of the NEC shall have proven experience in leadership and management in relevant field. A member of the NEC shall be a citizen of Uganda, registered member of the network, be a person of high moral character, be a person of integrity, not have been convicted of any crime, have completed at least A level. So this one stipulates the requirements for someone to stand, and that's one of the things that some members were saying, that we should have some basic minimum qualifications. Okay, what should the person be? Should the person be already, when he has been part of the NEC, or like when he has been part of ITAU for some time, or we can even just have people whom we have never seen and they become office bearers. Yeah, so I think from this constitution we see that. And with these ones, there is no procedure. The procedure they are saying, this procedure will be made by the NEC. Because now, like during this time, we have COVID. So this constitution is flexible. The NEC will always choose according to the times. If they say, okay, we are going to have a big meeting and we have the funders and we have what, and we are going to have the AGM physically, then we go. Then if the year comes and there's a pandemic, then so it is the NEC to publish what you call the guidelines. All of these two organizations don't have an electoral commission. The other one just has a returning officer. This one also is just the NEC. The other one, the NEC dissolves, and then they choose a returning officer from the NEC, and then that returning officer works upon. This one, the current NEC is one which publishes the guidelines for the elections, and then the guide on how the elections are going to be conducted. Yeah, so members, that is basically where we are going to be stopping today. So let me just go back to to our constitution of ITAU, and then we just note a few things, and we can be able to conclude within the next 10 minutes. Yeah, so so we have general elections, and this is how the thing was. So when we're doing this, we're just looking at the elections where we have met at a school, like maybe we've been meeting at Kololo. So we're saying, okay, we shall have elections during the AGM, and then we shall just choose
maybe Mr. Roger.
Yes. So members, Mr. Wamono, now let us get the feedback. What do you think?
Maybe,
yes,
maybe before you leave that part, I'm going to take you back a bit under the ITAU, who is eligible to vote. Let us first look at that. Who is eligible to vote? If I'm to take you back a bit.
Yeah, last time we saw we had a proposal, because the constitution here it is saying all bona fide members shall be eligible to vote and be voted for. So the bona fide members are those who have subscribed the 5,000 shillings, which we had set as ITAU. And if someone is really interested in being a member, he can easily join and become a member at that stage. So we have being able to vote and also being able to be voted for. This particular article restricts it to bona fide members.
Okay, then that is very well. Now, because if I can see the bona fide member can be someone maybe from Gul. And when you organize a physical election, maybe it is in Kampala somewhere or in a certain region, you may find that there are some members, however much they are bona fide members, who may not reach that place. The way you have been talking, because we have been organizing such elections and the few members have been returning. So if we can critically clear very well in our article or in our constitution that we shall be having two types of elections, the online and the physical. And we clearly elaborate the online one is how is the online elections going to be taking place, and even the physical one, such that even if a bona fide member maybe by that time is not in Uganda, is abroad, but is already eligible to vote and is entitled to voting, he or she can call out his obligation of voting.
Okay.
So I think we shall put that into our constitution, and then we amend it such that it can clearly show this online election, how it can be carried out within the constitution.
Okay. Yeah, and actually what we were doing, we were looking, at first we were saying that the NEC would be voted physically, and then after that, these other regional ones would get them online from the members would apply, because we had a very big executive. So actually the NEC is what was voted physically. Then these other regional ones, we just had elections online. So I'm going to be looking, we need to be looking more for guidelines on how online elections can be without, because we have been using, last time we used just these Google Forms. We had a call. If you search even on Google, you will be able to see. We had a call, and I think it should be still there on the internet, where we had a call for ICT teachers, Uganda regions. So it was there is a call which we published. I don't know whether it is going to come here. Okay, I've seen one article here, administrative and sub-regions of Uganda. So call for representatives from all sub-regions, call for representation of all regional and sub-regions on Uganda ITAU executive. So we published this call, and we had some kind of the districts, we categorized them, and then we made a form, we put there the executive, and we indicated the vacant posts, as you can see. So we had the national here, regional west, we had some vacant posts there. Then we had so we went ahead and we're seeing all the vacant, all these places, all these positions at sub-regional level were vacant. Yeah, so when they were vacant, we put out a form, you see, this nomination form. So we opened up this form, and then we had on the website ICT/vote. So we had this form, nominations for ITAU by-election. So we call them ITAU by-election. People voted, they selected where do you teach, district, which post do you want, and people were choosing the posts that they wanted. And then from there, we told them to upload their photo. We never told them to submit their CV. And so these people here, we opened voting. So right now it is saying voting closed because this was the page where we're voting, and you can see when the votes are here. Voting closed, here are the results. So if we log in, we have already a system which for voting. So here, Norin won, here Grace won, here George won, Baraza Bernard won for Eastern, Kasule Bernard won, here Joseph Mutawazi, Mudawa Charles won in Busoga. So we had real online elections. But the votes, the people who were voting were still few. We're getting 27 people voting in the entire executive. So we were having a few people voting. Yeah, but our system was like this. Actually, I'm saying it is still having the module here. So we had elections for Central Region, Chividige, Peter, Happy Immaculate, we had all these votes. So the people who managed to log into the site to vote were still few. And we had that. So we can still, but someone will say now who will be, yeah, we can still see how we can come up with some kind of guidelines. And then we see how we can be able to, or we can leave it and we make it like sort of open such that the executive can always make a decision. I don't know, but I think we need a clear guiding. Or we can say the physical can, I don't know. But now if we are going to be looking at online election, that means we shall have basically only physical elections. Okay, members, now let us wind up. Mr. Ayub, do you have any comment as far as what you have been hearing is about? How do you think we can have elections, especially in cases where we cannot meet physically?
Only that I've been late, but I've tried to follow a bit for the few minutes I've been online. So the previous speaker suggested online voting, and I've just texted by the idea, please.
Okay.
Not to the physical point of voting. So I buy the idea being that this era is all about internet and so on. But however, it should not encourage missing the physical one because some people may take it for granted. However, if there is possibility to have or join the physical, and then it is better. But in case you cannot totally join, then the online option is okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ogisha?
Now, what has delayed us even having the elections this time around has been the procedure. You see, the constitution we have, the first phrase under the article of general election says there shall be annual elections at the end of every 2 years. The election shall be presided over a returning officer elected by the AGM. Now, the fact that because of COVID, we never had AGM, we were blocked from conducting election because of this phrase, because any person who would look at this constitution would feel we really didn't observe it. So I would suggest that under this article, this article of general election, phrase B or clause B, we adjust it to at least include a returning officer got from the current executives who is not going to aspire. Because I imagine, should there be any other circumstance like this which has prevailed and absconded us from having the national AGM, still we shall have this go on, and we don't have ability to take this in. So we edit this phrase, that election shall be presided by a returning officer elected, rather either elected by an AGM or electronically voted by the members from the outgoing executives who is not going to aspire to allow us conduct elections, because like I said, we don't know what is going to happen. Then lastly, on clause F, that is under still election, they say a candidate shall be proposed and seconded at least one person. Now, in most of the elections we have had, this clause has not been implemented. The members have been applying electronically, and then upon being elected, they are then given the offices to really carry on duties. So I would feel this secondment can be easily removed unless otherwise. That is what I wanted to add on as far as the general elections are concerned. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so the issue of the returning officer being from the outgoing executive, in the other constitution we have seen it, but I don't know whether we can the returning officer also be, so long as someone is of good standing and is trusted, can this returning officer be even from outside the current executive? What if some of the members of the executive are not interested, and the people who are interested, they want maybe to stand? What if we are tied, and do we just get anyone who is I don't know. I think we can even have a returning officer even if he's not from the executive, so long as he's a person who is trusted and of moral, and we think he knows about the ITAU and he can be able to do the job.
Senior Rogers, my point is, at least even when we are choosing a person, we should capture the electronic part, that the member will be chosen electronically after some vote is established, like we did previously. We are doing before before we failed because of the constitution.
The second lockdown.
If we choose a member, perhaps a person may think that we have interest in that member over the aspirants as the executive or the NEC. But if members who have shown interest are electronically like voted by the members of the AGM who have not made it physically because of the prevailing circumstance, then the system becomes fair, because that person who is successful will have then authority over guiding, and the system is fair to everybody, and then a person will now know we as the executive don't have interest or don't have any other decision on who is to go through. Thank you.
Okay, members, thank you for, I want to end it at this point. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to record this as well. I'm going to get some time and I aggregate all these thoughts into summarized to capture all the views that members have been raising throughout the week. And tomorrow we are going to be discussing issues of association funds and the legal matters. Yeah, so that will be the last bit, and then from there we shall be having the final recap on Sunday on some of the things that we shall lay up for. Yeah, so I will encourage members to continue benchmarking with other constitutions so that we get something that is good. We want to have a wholesome constitution which is truly guiding, so that the next executive will have a good work, a good job, a good easier time, and things will be well streamlined. Mr. Mkisa, you have joined us last and your audio is off. I wanted to give you to pray for us, but I think you're unable to speak. Yeah, so yes, it's fine. Yeah, let me close. Dennis, you give us a closing prayer and we close the session.
Almighty loving Lord, we want to thank you again for this opportunity you've given us to interact in bits as we contemplate and make proposals as far as constitutional review is concerned. Most of the members, Father, are preparing to join us on Sunday. We really pray that all these proposals will be aggregated in one decision, and we look forward, Lord, for your guidance as we still come on Sunday. Father, give us the unity and thus give us opportunity to thrive as an association. We have prayed this. Thank you for the data you provided us. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray and believe. Amen.
Thank you very much, members, and have a nice evening. Be blessed.
Welcome.